Hey everybody, and welcome back to Open Sports Page. I'm Sid Rosenberg.
And I'm Amber Wilson.
All right, Amber, we'll discuss more misery for the Lions and another power play by a superstar's wife. But first, as always, let's take a look at the front page.
With just 1 week left until the playoffs, Week 16 in the NFL played out just like all the rest. Completely unpredictable. Division titles and home field advantage were on the line this weekend, but in the end, it was a pair of 0-7 bottom feeders that looked to be playoff bound. The Falcons clinched already, while the Dolphins control their own destiny, taking care of Kansas City.
Quite a story down here where we film this show every
Right.
day, you and I. Here in Miami, you have the Dolphins go from 1-15 to where if they beat the Jets in East Rutherford on Sunday, they've won the AFC East. Ironically, though, by the way, a Dolphin loss, and they may not make the playoffs because the Pats are playing so well and the
Right,
Ravens
Pats
are playing
aren't.
so
Right.
well. Right, so that was a big win for Miami on Sunday and a bad loss for the Jets, but Miami is still not out of the woods.
Right, no, they're not out of the woods.
Yep.
Next week's game is still going to be huge against the Jets and the Fins. Not as huge as it was going to be had the Jets won this past weekend, because now it looks like the Jets sort of screwed themselves.
Yeah, it's not big for the Jets anymore. Miami, it's still the same thing, but for the Jets
well,
now,
if the Jets beat the Dolphins and then New England or Baltimore was to lose one,
then the Jets can
get into the playoffs.
That's an unlikely scenario, but it can happen.
Probably
yeah.
a very unlikely scenario. Although I would have said the Jets losing 3 of their last 4, unlikely scenario.
At the time,
the way things have gone, it's pretty incredible.
They were 8-3, and we were talking about Jet-Giants Super Bowl. But you're right about the Dolphins. The Falcons, they got a big win in Minnesota yesterday.
We got to talk about Matt Ryan here.
Another great game. Another great game.
Just really led that entire team just back from
the dead.
As far down as you can pretty much go. I guess the Dolphins technically were further, but I mean, if we really consider everything that happened to the Falcons, everything surrounding Michael Vick, I mean, it's such an incredible story.
It is, and that's why you talk about Tony Sparano being Coach of the Year for the Dolphins, and Mike Smith for the Falcons gets the same applause, and he should, by the way. And you couple the fact that the Falcons won with the fact that the Cowboys lost, the Eagles lost in Washington. That was a bad loss. Tampa Bay lost at home to San Diego, and the Falcons are in the driver's seat.
And we got to talk about the Giants.
Yes,
because they managed to squeak past Carolina. Your Giants did. Yep. I turned the game on in the beginning, and Carolina was killing them.
Yes.
And I was watching it with a bunch of my friends, and I had told them that I thought that the Giants would squeak past Carolina, and I thought it would be close, but I thought they would take the game, and I thought they'd cover the spread, and they made me look like a fool in the first half. And my friends were all like, oh, well, good thing we don't listen to you for our betting advice. And we turned off the game. And I woke up this morning and found out that the Giants had actually won that one.
And they did cover.
They did cover.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't see that coming. I didn't see
the
the
Giants
comeback.
were getting killed in the second quarter.
Right.
They were down 21-10. They cut it to 21-13 at the half and came out in the second half when they got a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. Carolina did take a 28-20 lead, and the Giants tied the game. And then Carolina had a chance to win the game at the end of regulation. Casey attempting a field goal he would ordinarily make, but really windy, blustery conditions this time of year in East Rutherford. He missed a field goal. Giants' second possession. Derek Ward, with over 200 yards, had about 70 yards on that possession. Brandon Jacobs gets the touchdown. And now, after losses to Dallas and Philadelphia, anybody worrying, oh, the Giants are done, no Plaxico. I said it all week last week. You can keep Plaxico. Give me Brandon Jacobs for a much different team.
Well, and Brandon Jacobs, we were concerned, might not make it for this game, and obviously he ended up having a few touchdowns in this one, so that was huge. That was huge for them.
So now we know the Giants are on the 1 seed inside the NFC. The Titans got a huge win.
Yes, they clinched home field advantage as well.
Yes, I thought the Steelers were going to kill them, and they won the game.
I know. It was really surprising for a lot of people. You know, week after week, I keep telling people, obviously Tennessee is for real.
Yeah,
I don't know. At this point, I don't know why. They are now. I mean, they were freaking 5 weeks ago. I don't know why we're all surprised at this point. They really do only have the one loss, and they really are for real.
Yeah, 13-2 actually, but you're right.
I mean, the 2 losses.
They got
the
1 seed, though. So you got the Giants, the 1 seed in the NFC, the Titans, the 1 seed inside the AFC, and a pretty exciting postseason ahead of us.
Yeah,
absolutely. Pretty good stuff.
Lots of crazy stuff, obviously. The Chargers had a miserable season, yet it can be saved.
Yes, with a win Sunday night.
With a win Sunday over the Broncos, because the Broncos dropped one. Also on Sunday to Buffalo, very surprising. And the Chargers, obviously, like you mentioned, took care of business down with Tampa Bay.
Yes, now the Chargers, that's going to be the NBC game on Sunday night. They had 3 choices. They could have gone Philadelphia, Dallas, but they both lost this weekend. They could have gone Jets, Dolphins, but the Jets lost this weekend. They decided NBC to pick the Charger-Bronco game in San Diego on Sunday night. And you're right, if the Chargers win that game at home, they would win the West, and the Broncos would once again miss the playoffs.
It's wild. I mean, neither of those teams for me have been exciting this season at all whatsoever.
You're right.
So we haven't talked about them much. I mean, they've just been kind of there. But for both of those teams to still be in contention is, I don't know, surprising to me.
It's pathetic, actually.
It kind of is. And that's, I don't honestly, for me, I'd much rather see the Finns-Jets game.
Oh, so would I. But not only that, but if the Chargers win that game, they're going to win the West at 8-8, make the playoffs.
Right.
The Patriots may very well go 11-5.
And not make the
Matt
playoffs.
Castle's going to throw for 4,000 yards, and they're not going to be in the playoffs. But because somebody has to win the West, the Chargers are. That's the problem with the NFL.
That's the problem with the NFL,
Yep.
but it's still a better system than the BCS in college, right?
Yeah, well,
and this
listen.
is what when people
The
argue.
government in Iraq before we went there was a better system than
When-
the BCS in college.
When people argue against the BCS in college and say how great the NFL is, that's what critics come back with.
Once in a while,
is the
you get
problem
this.
that these divisions
Yep.
can be incredibly uneven, depending on the year. All right, there's still plenty more to come here on the OSP, including a reporter badgering a lion and Posh laying down the law. Back page coming up next.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.
Back here on the OSP, time now to check out what's burning up the back page. Amber.
The Detroit Lions became the first team in NFL history to go 0-15 and could easily become 0-16 next weekend after the team's latest loss to the Saints. Detroit News reporter Rob Parker verbally bombarded coach Rod Marinelli for employing his son-in-law as defensive coordinator. Parker even asked if Marinelli wished his daughter had married a better defensive coordinator.
That's funny.
Did Parker cross the line?
Yeah, I mean, if she married Steve Spagnuolo, the Giants, it'd be a better
Right.
football team. Look, I think this reporter's a moron. Why would you pick on Rod Marinelli or his kid? At this point, you're kicking the dead body. The carcass is there. Rigor mortis has set in. They're all getting fired. This was something that Matt Millen did to this organization before Rod Marinelli even got there.
Mm-hmm.
So for the reporter to pick on the coach and his son-in-law at this point, kind of Bush League.
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely kicking the dead body, like you said.
Yeah, it's dead.
He knows that his team sucks. Everyone knows that they haven't been doing a good job this season. No reason to bombard the coach, as we wrote in the script. And I just think the reporter did it. Why? To get us all talking. Because
we are.
he works from some crappy little newspaper. None of us had ever heard of him. And now, his name's all over ESPN, all over NFL Network, all over Open Sports. So I guess he got us talking.
He has
and that's just
apologized, though,
pathetic.
but he
It's just
apologized
pathetic
since,
that
you
he
know
felt
that.
like, yeah, of course he did. I
Yeah.
really think that a lot of these people in the media that do these sorts of things are just trying to advance their career.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
their way. It's just, I think he probably went into a press conference thinking, I'm going to be outrageous, say something outrageous to, get people talking about me, and then I'll come out and apologize.
Probably so. I mean, I've done that myself. I got drunk once at a Knick press conference and badgered Isaiah Thomas.
Did you?
About Tim Thomas. Oh, yeah, I was hammered. Hammered. They actually almost threw me out of the garden that night.
But you were hammered, and
Yes.
a Knicks fan. A very,
Yes.
and I don't know
But
if
I
that's
remember
why.
the media, but I
and
was,
maybe, and maybe that's why this reporter was doing it. I don't know. Although you have a little bit of more of a controversial reputation. Like, people expect that sort of stuff from
me,
you.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of your personality. It's one reason that people hire you.
Right.
In addition to why people
They
hire
expect
you.
unprofessionalism and.
Right. I mean, that is what people enjoy about you, Sydney.
Yes.
But I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, I never heard of him either.
But
and after today,
he
he's
should
gone.
probably be fired.
Probably so.
I would think he should be fired.
David Beckham is heading to Italy, one of my favorite places, by the way. I was there 2 summers ago. It's beautiful. To play for AC Milan. His journey back across the pond only catches our attention because of the media fiasco that follows. He was supposed to have a one-on-one exclusive interview with sexy Italian sportscaster Ilaria D'Amico. That is until his wife Victoria found out. Posh Spice squashed the interview after researching D'Amico on the web. The Beckham camp, of course, is denying the reports. Now, I haven't seen this, but supposedly this girl is really
She's
outstanding.
smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, she's extremely Italian looking. So if you
like
really
that.
like the
Dark
dark
skin
skin,
and-
dark
Sophia
hair,
Loren.
the
Oh.
features, kind of biggish nose, but she's absolutely. I mean, her body is to a T, and
Beautiful,
just ridiculous, incredibly sexy,
Yeah.
incredibly voluptuous.
Big boobs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge. She likes to show them off, from what I
Really?
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
you-
captivated. I watched a few videos.
You like girls?
No, I
Oh,
was just captivated by her beauty.
Oh, okay, great, okay.
By just
Yeah. No, sometimes people,
in a very non-pornographic sense.
No, I understand, but bisexual. Maybe you like
Anyways,
her too, and not in.
who I do not think is attractive is Posh freaking Spice.
She's not bad looking.
Really,
Not bad.
it gets under my skin because I
Yeah.
look at David Beckham's underwear ads and then I look at who he's married to, and I'm extremely upset about it.
Okay.
Well, his underwear ads are. Although I saw him smile on TV
Yeah.
yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and
Not for you?
whew,
Yeah.
he needs
That's
to
rough.
stick to
Sure.
keeping his clothes off.
Sure. Now, if you were married to him, though, you would allow him to tell you what you can and can't do, being that he makes $1 billion and he's
Well, so does she, though. Don't forget. I mean, Posh Spice has
Okay.
a little bit of money in the bank herself.
not like him, though. I mean,
Here's the thing: if you're that insecure that your husband can't even interview with
He-
somebody who's attractive,
Right.
then that's an issue.
But he is like the number one, like in the whole world. He's like the most.
Yeah, but how insulting is that? I mean, if I had an interview set up with an athlete or with anybody for that matter, and their wife didn't let them do it because they, I mean, what? I don't know. What am I going to do? I'm going to,
it's a
inappropriately touch your husband during the interview?
It's a bit for me to come to this job every single day. They'll bust my chops every day. She's like, when is Andy filling in?
Stop it. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Open Sports Page. Make sure you tune in every day for the latest in sports news and opinions.
So for Amber Wilson, who's hotter than this Italian sportscaster, or Posh Spice for that matter, I'm Sid Rosenberg. Don't forget to check out the Sid Rosenberg radio show before 2009. We're down to our last couple of days, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, in one of two places online, either sidrosenberg.com or 790theticket.com. And, of course, keep it right here at opensports.com, where the future of sports on the web is open. Happy Hanukkah.
For more great videos, check back every day on opensports.com.